Google just mass-fired an entire category of engineers and replaced them with artificial intelligence. Not in some distant future, not in a pilot program. This happened this week, and the ripple effect could wipe out over 2 million software jobs in the next 18 months. If you write code for a living, if you manage developers, or if you're thinking about getting into tech, this is the single most important thing you'll hear all year. Let me break it all down for you right now. Here's what happened. On March 12th, 2026, Google's parent company Alphabet confirmed during an internal all-hands meeting, which was immediately leaked to multiple outlets, that they have completed what they're calling Project Codium. This is the full integration of their Gemini Ultra 2.0 AI model into their internal software development pipeline. And when I say full integration, I mean this. Google has eliminated approximately 25% of their mid-level software engineering roles across Google Cloud, YouTube, and their core search division. That translates to roughly 12,000 positions, gone, replaced by AI coding agents that can write, test, debug, and deploy production-grade code at a speed that no human team can match. Now, let me give you the numbers that should make your jaw drop. According to the internal documents that were shared with Bloomberg, these AI coding agents are producing code at a rate 37 times faster than the human teams they replaced. And here's the kicker. The defect rate, meaning the number of bugs in the code, actually dropped by 42%. So the AI isn't just faster, it's writing cleaner, more reliable software. Sundar Pichai, Google's CEO, reportedly told employees that this isn't a layoff in the traditional sense. He framed it as an evolution of how software gets built. His exact words, according to sources who were in the room, were, "We are not removing humans from the loop. We are elevating humans to a higher loop," which honestly is a very polished way of saying a lot of people just lost their jobs. This isn't just a Google story though. Microsoft confirmed 2 days ago that their GitHub Copilot workspace, powered by GPT-5, is now handling over 60% of all new code commits across Microsoft's internal projects. Amazon followed with an announcement that their Code Whisperer platform has reduced their software development workforce needs by roughly 30% in AWS divisions. 3 of the 5 biggest tech companies on Earth all made the same move within the same week. That is not a coincidence. That is a coordinated shift in how the entire tech industry operates. So why does this matter beyond the obvious headline? Let me take you deeper. First, let's talk about what Gemini Ultra 2.0 can actually do, because this isn't just a fancy autocomplete tool. Previous AI coding assistants, like the original Copilot or even early versions of Gemini, could suggest code snippets. They could fill in a function if you gave them a clear prompt, but they couldn't architect an entire system. They couldn't look at a complex codebase with millions of lines and understand how all the pieces connect. They couldn't make strategic decisions about which database to use or how to structure an API for scalability. Gemini Ultra 2.0 does all of that. Google trained it on their entire internal codebase, which is estimated to be over 2 billion lines of code. It also ingested the complete history of code reviews, bug reports, architecture decision records, and performance data going back 15 years. So this model doesn't just know how to write code, it knows how Google writes code. It understands the patterns, the preferences, the pitfalls. Think of it this way. Imagine you hired a new developer who had already memorized every single project your company ever built, read every email chain about why certain decisions were made, and studied every post-mortem of every failure. That developer would be extraordinary. Now imagine that developer also never gets tired, never takes a vacation, and can work on 50 projects simultaneously. That's what Google just deployed. Now let's compare this to the competition. Microsoft's GPT-5 coding capabilities are impressive, but Microsoft has taken a more cautious hybrid approach. They're using AI to augment developers rather than replace them at scale. At least publicly, that's their position. Amazon's Code Whisperer is powerful within the AWS ecosystem, but is still more narrow in scope. It's excellent at cloud infrastructure code, but less capable with front-end development or complex application logic. Google just leapfrogged both of them, and industry analysts are taking notice. Rowan Curran, a principal analyst at Forrester Research, published a note on March 13th saying, and I quote, "Google's move signals that we've crossed the Rubicon. The question is no longer whether AI can replace software developers. The question is how fast it will happen across every company on the planet." Meanwhile, Stack Overflow, which recently released their 2026 developer survey, found that 71% of professional developers are now using AI coding tools daily. That's up from 44% just 1 year ago. But here's the finding that should concern everyone. 23% of developers surveyed said their companies have already reduced hiring specifically because of AI coding capabilities, and this survey was conducted before Google's announcement. Let me give you one more data point that ties this together. According to a new report from McKinsey Global Institute released this week, AI is now capable of performing approximately 80% of the tasks that a median software developer does on a daily basis. A year ago, that number was around 45%. The acceleration is exponential, not linear. We're not seeing gradual improvement. We're seeing capability doubling roughly every 8 to 10 months. Now let's follow the money, because that's where the real story gets interesting. Within hours of Google's announcement leaking on March 12th, Alphabet's stock jumped 4.7%. That's a market cap increase of roughly $96 billion in a single day. Investors clearly see this as a massive cost-saving play. And they're right. The average fully loaded cost of a mid-level software engineer in the Bay Area is around $350,000 per year when you include salary, benefits, stock compensation, and office costs. 12,000 positions at that rate means Google is saving roughly $4.2 billion annually. $4.2 billion, that goes straight to the bottom line. But here's where it gets more complex. The companies that sell AI coding tools are absolutely exploding. Look at stocks in the AI automation space. Companies building developer tools powered by artificial intelligence are the clear winners here. If you're interested in AI investing, this is the sector to watch. Every enterprise on Earth is now going to accelerate their adoption of AI coding platforms. That's not speculation. That's the logical consequence of Google proving it works at massive scale. On the flip side, traditional IT staffing companies are in serious trouble. Companies like Infosys, Wipro, Cognizant, and other firms whose business model is essentially providing large teams of software developers to enterprises. They just watched their core value proposition get undermined. Infosys stock dropped 3.1% on Thursday. Cognizant dropped 2.8%. The market is already pricing in the reality that you don't need a team of 50 offshore developers when an AI agent can do the same work. Now, for everyday people looking at money-making opportunities, here's what's opening up. First, the demand for AI integration specialists is skyrocketing. These are people who don't write code from scratch, but who know how to orchestrate AI coding agents, review their output, and guide them toward the right architectural decisions. This is a completely new job category, and companies are paying between $150,000 and $300,000 for these roles right now. Second, there's a massive AI side hustle opportunity emerging. If you learn how to use these AI coding tools effectively, you can build software products as a solo entrepreneur that would have required a team of 10 people just 2 years ago. I'm talking about building and launching a software product in weeks instead of months. People are already generating passive income with AI by creating apps, tools, and microservices and selling them on marketplaces. Third, AI business consulting is becoming incredibly lucrative. Small and medium-sized businesses are panicking right now. They don't know how to adopt these tools. They don't know which ones to choose. They don't know how to restructure their teams. If you position yourself as someone who can guide them through this transition, you can charge $500 to $1,000 an hour. That's not an exaggeration. That's what firms are billing right now. But let's talk about the painful side too, because we have to be honest. Traditional coding bootcamps are in trouble. If AI can write better code than a junior developer right out of a bootcamp, then the value proposition of paying $15,000 for a 12-week coding program is collapsing. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projected that software developer roles would grow by 25% through 2035. That projection is now effectively obsolete. Several economists are saying that projection needs to be cut in half, at minimum. The jobs that are most at risk right now are junior and mid-level developers who primarily write standard, well-understood code. Think CRUD applications, basic API development, routine front-end work. These are the tasks AI does best. The jobs that are safer, at least for now, are senior architects, AI and machine learning engineers, cybersecurity specialists, and people who work at the intersection of code and complex domain knowledge like healthcare tech or financial systems. Part 5. Real-world impact and practical use cases. Alright, let's bring this down to earth. How does this affect you right now in your daily life? Use case number 1, healthcare. There's a startup called MedCode AI that's already using Google's Gemini-based coding tools to build custom electronic health record integrations in days instead of months. Here's why that matters to you. Every time you visit a doctor and they can't access your records from another hospital, that's a software integration problem. These AI tools are making it possible for even small medical practices to afford custom software that connects all their systems. One clinic in Austin, Texas, reported that they built a patient portal with AI assistants that would have cost them $200,000 $1,000 from a traditional development firm. They did it for under $8,000. That means better healthcare technology is coming to smaller providers faster, which directly improves your experience as a patient. Use case number 2, education. A community college in Ohio just announced that they're using AI coding agents to build personalized learning platforms for their students. Each student gets a customized dashboard that adapts to their learning speed and style. Previously, building something like this would have required a team of developers and a budget over $1 million. They built it for less than $50,000. This means that schools that could never afford cutting-edge educational technology can now build it themselves. Your kids, or you yourself if you're going back to school, will start seeing much better digital learning tools, even at institutions that don't have big budgets. Use case number 3, small business and freelancing. Let me tell you about a real scenario. A freelance marketing consultant in Denver named Sarah was spending about $500 a month paying a developer to maintain and update her client dashboard. She learned to use an AI coding tool and now she maintains it herself. But here's the twist. She didn't stop there. She started building custom dashboards for her other clients and charging them for it. She turned a $500 monthly expense into a new revenue stream that now brings in about $4,000 a month. That is the power of these best AI tools in 2026. They don't just save you money, they let you create entirely new income streams. And this kind of story is going to become more and more common. The barrier to building software is collapsing. And when barriers collapse, opportunities explode for people who are paying attention. Now I'm curious, do you think this shift is ultimately a good thing or a dangerous thing? I genuinely want to know your take, so drop it in the comments. I actually read every single one, and some of the best insights I get come from you all. And if you're finding this valuable, you know what to do. That subscribe button is right there, and it genuinely helps this channel keep bringing you these updates for free. Every single subscribe makes a difference. Part 6. Future predictions. Now let's look ahead, because what just happened is only the beginning. Prediction number 1. Within 6 months, by September 2026, at least 5 more major tech companies will announce similar large-scale reductions in their software engineering workforce due to AI coding agents. I'm talking about companies in the Fortune 100. The pressure from shareholders will be too intense to ignore. Google just proved that you can cut billions in costs while actually improving output quality. Every board of directors in Silicon Valley is having that conversation right now. This is going to accelerate faster than most people think. Prediction number 2. Within 1 year, by March 2027, we will see the emergence of what I'm calling one-person software companies, generating over $10 million in annual revenue. These will be solo founders using AI coding agents to build, deploy, and maintain complex software platforms that compete with products built by teams of hundreds. The economics of software development are being completely rewritten. The advantage that big companies had, which was the ability to hire hundreds of engineers, is evaporating. A single brilliant product thinker with AI tools will be able to compete with entire engineering departments. Prediction number 3. Within 5 years, the role of software developer, as we know it today, will be as different from its current form as a modern graphic designer is from a 1980s typesetter. The core skill will shift from writing code to directing AI systems, defining product vision, and ensuring ethical and secure implementation. The people who thrive will be the ones who adapt to this new paradigm early. The people who resist it will find themselves in a very difficult position. So here's what you should do right now to stay ahead. Step 1. Start using AI coding tools immediately, even if you're not a developer. Pick up a tool like GitHub Copilot, Google's Project IDX or Cursor, and start experimenting. Build something small. A personal website, a simple app, an automation for your daily workflow. The goal isn't to become a professional coder. The goal is to become fluent in working with AI to build things. Step 2. Invest in understanding AI at a strategic level. Don't just learn the tools. Understand the economics, the capabilities, and the limitations. Subscribe to channels like this one that break down the business and financial implications of every major AI update. Read the reports from McKinsey, Forrester, and Gartner. The people who understand both the technology and the business side will be the most valuable professionals in any industry. Step 3. Identify one area in your current job or business where AI automation could save significant time or money, and start building a proof of concept this month. Not next quarter, not next year, this month. The window to be an early mover is closing fast. Every week you wait, more people are figuring this out and the advantage shrinks. Part 7. Powerful closing. Look, here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. We are living through the single biggest shift in how knowledge work gets done since the invention of the internet. The future of AI isn't some abstract topic for a conference panel anymore. It's happening in real time, in real companies, affecting real paychecks. But here's what I believe. Every major technological shift in history has created more opportunity than it destroyed. The printing press didn't kill communication, it democratized it. The internet didn't kill business, it created entirely new industries. And artificial intelligence won't kill careers, it will create new ones that we can't even imagine yet. But only for the people who choose to lean in instead of freeze up. This is Kashi with SKM AI Expert. If you got value from this, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Because I promise you, the update I'm covering in the next video is even bigger than this one. The future belongs to those who show up informed. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp.